Matthew Blazewicz here again for the demonstration tutorial of the Wildcatter simulation. In this portion, I'm going to demonstrate how to create a development project. In the previous portion, we looked at exploration projects as well as an overview of the simulation. So right here, you'll notice two things different from the last video. I've increased the amount of exploration projects, and also you will notice that there is an orange background underlying the exploration project markers. There's also a pink square we can see right here, and what that is the reserve overlay map, which I can turn on and off by clicking on or pressing the R key. So right here you can see that the pink background underneath the counter or underneath the project marker represents a possible indications of oil in the area. So we can click on this project, and clicking on the project brings up the Manage Project screen where the user can see the messages that the project has communicated over the past quarter, or the last 8 messages communicated by the project. Since the last video, several quarters have passed, and we've spent a significant amount of money trying to explore and find oil reserves, and we've just now found evidence of oil deposits in this area. So the first thing I'm going to do is to try and preserve some of our cash by liquidating some of the exploration projects now that we have a possible oil find. To do that, I click on the project I want to eliminate and hit liquidate project. Yes, I would like to abandon this project, and what that does, it sells the project at the book value to the market and creates a cash inflow. This inflow shows up under investing activities of the cash flow statement. So we will see that at the end of the quarter once we end the term and the consolidated financial statements are generated. So now I'm liquidating half of the exploration projects. The other half I will leave and allow to continue to attempt to find additional feasible reserves. Now, having done that, I'm going to right-click on the area that we know from our reserve overlay map has feasible reserve. I'm going to right-click and then select New Project Development. This is our exploratory drilling project. What this project does is brings either through purchasing or leasing, brings a drilling rig and drilling crew to the site. You'll notice consignment fees for drilling are more expensive than for exploration, and that's intentional by the simulation, but they are still contingent upon distance from a city, so they're a function of the distance from a city. So the simulation uses the distance formula to help calculate the consignment fees. So I'm going to select lease for this rig because we don't have that much cash left, and then I'm going to select the target depth and center map on project just to make sure that is the correct area. And it can be kind of hard to see the cursor when the reserve map is on, so right there you can see the box around the area where we're going to begin the development project. Once again, on the right hand side of the project window, the projected quarterly cash flows are visible, and these projected cash flows represent more or less a worst case scenario, so it's very likely that the cash flows will be less than this number, this 1.5 million number. The human resource skill level and equipment quality, in this case, They serve to help reduce non-productive time, NPT time. So the higher the more skilled your workers are and the better equipment you give them, the lower the NPT time will be for the project. And NPT time just costs money. It's a day of paid wages, paid consignment fees that brings no benefit, and it does not increase the depth of the well. So I will hit begin project, and this message is telling me that due to the activation of this project, the exploration project in the same tile has been deactivated. And that's just the simulation does that out of consideration. It just assumes that you don't want to explore in a tile where you've already found oil. For the simulation purposes, only one project can be on one tile operating at a time. So right there, the drilling rig project marker is visible, and we will end the turn, and that drilling rig will commence drilling and then expense costs, and we'll see how that turns out. Okay, once again, we still have conflict going on, causing a supply shortage. So this could cause the oil price to go higher. Now we see from our messages from our project manager that we have struck oil at 3,500 feet. So we set the target depth to 5,000. That is the maximum amount you can drill with the technology level that the firm has in the beginning. Depths can be increased through research projects, and at different technology levels, more and more tools become available to the firm. Eventually, through research projects, offshore drilling can also take place. But here we have struck oil, so that is good news. And now we look over our financial statements. We'll probably see in the statement of cash flows that we have a sale of property, plant, and equipment from all the exploration projects we liquidated. And income statement still have a negative net income because we haven't produced revenues yet, but we're close. We're possibly close. We can see the development expenses were $869,000, far shorter than the $1.6 million we predicted on the new project window, and that's because it wasn't a worst case situation. That projected cash flow window always goes with a worst case situation. Balance sheet is still showing only exploration equipment because we leased the development equipment. Had we purchased it, it would show up here. Okay, so now that covers the development projects. In the next video, I'm going to cover the production projects, and hopefully we will begin generating revenues.